There have been many protagonists over the past few years that we have grown to love, but unfortunately, where there is good, there's also bad.
I just move shit with my mind.
And just talking about the good and the bad ones is low-hanging fruit, so instead, we're just going to talk about the process of main characters getting replaced. And we're going to go over the lows and the highs of these said new protagonists, and how some media handled it well, and some media just didn't have any idea how to hand off the baton well. And two disclaimers I'm going to go over is I'm not speaking on whether the actual media is good, and number two, another disclaimer is there are obvious spoilers in this video for the following: Naruto, Boruto, Insomniac Spider-Man video game, and My Hero Academia. Alright, let's get the bad out of the way. First, we're going to talk about Naruto's replacement, that is Boruto. Let me take you back first. In Naruto and Naruto Shippuden, we see Naruto grow as a strong man, not only because of his courage and good hard work, but also we see his relationship with quite literally his inner demon, Kurama, blossom and strengthen relationship throughout the entirety of Shippuden, and they became close and intertwined. Guess what they did to him in Boruto? They completely made him dip. Like, they said he ran out of chakra and he's out. Could have been so many better ways for them to do this. It just doesn't make sense how they demean characters that were beloved, that brought people to the franchises, just to remove a core aspect about them to up a new character. Okay, time to talk about my next one that I'm sad about. Before I get into this, I want to let you guys know, I actually had a really good time playing this game. Combat and everything about it is really good, and the story is good up until the end. And I know this game had mixed reviews, but I'm on the rare side of actually enjoying this game. I just didn't like how this singular aspect of this game was covered, and this is a similar argument that I had and a similar issue I had with Boruto that I have for Insomniac's Spider-Man 2. They didn't actually give a full nerf to him. They didn't say explicitly that, okay, Peter Parker is nerfed, and neither did the story, but they have my boy getting KO'd every single second. We see him take on the Sinister Six in Spider-Man 1, and then in Miles Morales, he gets KO'd flat by the Rhino, obviously for plot convenience, so Miles Morales can have the nice day where he uses his Venom electric power thingy. But the problem is, in Spider-Man 2, we see it much more, and for no apparent reason.
Yo, come on, man. I can't have shit in this house!
And who's always on the other side to pick up the slack once Peter is KO'd? Miles. And don't get me wrong, I don't dislike Miles at all. He's an amazing character, and he's a good successor to be the role that is Spider-Man. Like, he has unique aspects of him. But how Insomniac went about it, it's just so cringe to me. Making the main character that we loved get KO'd by literally the air to give Miles the up is dumb. Both the Naruto and Spider-Man are sought after and lovable characters, which is why we don't want to see them get done dirty. Either weed them out properly, or don't weed them out at all. Alright, let's jump right into the good. I'm aware the character I'm about to speak about was not the main character per se, but the way the show went about it almost made it seem like this character was already a main character of a show that's already been done, and he's just getting replaced. And that character is All Might from My Hero Academia. I speak on this because the circumstances of how Deku gets his power and the learning curve he has in the show should be used way more often in media. And yes, My Hero does essentially reduce the main character's power in a way, which we were actually given a solid explanation. He got in an insane fight, and he got weaker. And it exuded so much that he really can't fight like he used to. He's washed up. He's out of his prime. And therefore, he seeks out someone to transfer his power, and that's when we get introduced to Izuku Midoriya. That is the context, the pretext actually, to the first episode of his meeting with All Might, and Deku gets powers. Even then, the hero, or Izuku Midoriya, he prevails, he still works hard, and that makes us invested in the show. We feel a lot more invested in his character, and how he's going to grow, of breaking his fingers every 5 seconds, to even use a little bit of All Might's power that he's been given. Shows, video games, movies should adapt a similar circumstances of handing off the mantle to a different character. That, and making the main character have a huge learning curve and still being significantly weaker than the previous protagonist, is just a perfect way to do it. Please adapt this future shows, media, video games. Thank you. Okay, next on the good list. In Batman Beyond, we see an old Bruce Wayne. A Batman that is decades older than the ones we're usually accustomed to seeing. And yes, even in this circumstance, we see a Bruce nerfed in a sense, but there's a clear reason he's weak. He's hunk. The most simplest way to make someone weaker, not remove an important aspect to them, just make them older. It's a perfect explanation, and really the simplest solution. See, if we were to see this Batman in a state of getting KO'd by a fridge, it makes sense, and it's completely fine. No one should get mad at this. There's just a perfect execution of the OG main character passing the baton to the new main character. Literally watch the show. Honestly, that's enough said, really. Now that I've already established the problem, talked about the good and the bad of what media did it, let me talk about my suggestion for future media. Alright, let's waste no time. Place them in a coma. Place a protagonist, some sort of circumstances where someone has to arise and take over pretty much. Not taking away their power, not removing anything important about them, but placing them in a void of some sort, just making them fall asleep. Nobody wants to see the character that we grew to love over the years get reduced in power just for this new character that we most likely don't care about. And at the end of the day, I understand why it's done. They don't want this new main character to have the leisure of the old main character coming to sweep in every single time they're getting stumped by some big bad guy. But come on, people, gotta come up with more creative ways to introduce new main characters. But honestly, the easiest solution is to just kill them. Goodbye.